This is Oshkosh Today, your connection to events and organizations in the Oshkosh area. Oshkosh Today is supported in part by the Friends of OCM, Aurora Healthcare, 855 North West Haven Drive. Set design provided by House of Flowers, 1920 Algoma Boulevard.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us on Oshkosh Today. I'm your host, Emily Mikowski, and we have an awesome episode lined up for today. Spring is on the way. We've got a lot of great reasons to get out of the house, so let's take a look and see what's up for today. First up, what better way to think spring than surrounding yourself with flowers? The Payne Art Center and Gardens will be the place to go for this year's Rooms of Blooms. After that, if you're craving a little drama in your life, Hysterical Productions is putting on what's sure to be an unforgettable performance of Les Miserables. I got out of the studio last week and took a little field trip over to the EAA AirVenture Museum to get the details on this year's Hops and Props event. And then the beautiful Miss Oshkosh is here to tell us about this year's pageant. After that, we'll hear about the latest exhibit at the Oshkosh Public Museum, In Company with Angels, and you're not going to want to miss that. Finally, if you're a hockey fan, you'll want to stay tuned for our last guest, here to tell us about a really cool event, the Guns and Hoses Charity Hockey Tournament. As always, we'll wrap it up with a segment of Focus on Health with our friends from Aurora. So let's go ahead and get right to it then. First up, we've got our first guest here, Kelly Marcichuk from the Payne Art Center and Gardens. Thanks for joining us today, Kelly.
Thanks for having me, Emily.
And you're here to tell us about the Rooms of Blooms. Now, can you just first tell us a little bit about that event? What is the Rooms of Blooms?
Rooms of Blooms is an event the Payne puts on. It's an annual event. This is our 5th year, and we partner up with florists around the region, and they come in and we pair them up with artworks or rooms in the mansion, which is their inspiration. So our main gallery will have works out by Ruth Grotenrath and Shomer Lichtner, which are Milwaukee artists. Very colorful exhibition, and they'll be paired up with the florists, and they will look at their artwork and get that inspiration, and then create over the just beautifully designed floral pieces.
Sounds like a really dynamic kind of art, you know, taking the inspiration from actual artwork and making a beautiful floral piece out of it.
It is. People really love the beauty it creates and just the different design ideas that come from it. It's very creative, and florists sometimes have to stick with what the customer wants. Here we're giving them really, you know, the capability to come up with what they really are inspired with. So it's fun to see that.
Definitely gives them a little bit more freedom than usual, like you said.
Yes.
So how many florists are participating in this year's Rooms of Blooms?
We have a little bit more than 20 designers and florists involved, and it's from throughout the region. So we have people from Plymouth up to Green Bay. We have Wyawega and Elkhart Lake this year, and so it just really is a good representation from around the area.
And so what exactly can we expect this year? For example, what will be in the Great Hall area?
In the Great Hall, people get really excited about this because we are bringing back the table designs where we give them a blank slate, a blank table, and they bring in the linens and the china and just do an over-the-top table setting. And there will be 7 this year. Historically, we've only done 6, so 7 this year, and they can vote on their favorite, visitors can, which really makes people excited with the opportunity to win a gift certificate to the winning florist store. So it just creates a little bit more fun when you're visiting, but it's really over the top and grand, these table settings.
Yes, I mean, speaking of over the top and grand, 7, you know, things happening in the Great Hall. How many different displays will be throughout the mansion? Throughout
the mansion, there'll be over 100 different floral displays, settings, all different things, and so there's just going to be so much to see when you come. We anticipate this year might be the biggest and best event we've had yet, so just with conversations with florists and designers of what they're bringing in, so we're really excited about it this year.
Yes, and something else that a lot of people, I mean, a favorite part of the Payne for a lot of people is the conservatory. What can we expect this year in the conservatory? The
conservatory, again, last year was the first year we were able to do it because it was new, but again, we're going to have an over-the-top floral installation. So last year it took up the entire center of the conservatory with the dramatic skylight above it, and it had a lot of floral and peacock themed. This year the theme is going to be rain showers, rain hats. We've started the setup and it just looks fantastic.
Excellent. Well, that sounds like a huge focal point to look forward to for the Rooms of Blooms.
It really is.
And whenever I talk to people about events like this, I'm always concerned, is there going to be food there? I heard there's going to be kind of a little bit of a brunch deal going on.
There is. Both Saturday mornings, Rooms of Blooms is open the first 2 weekends in March, and both Saturday mornings we're offering a brunch. I will steer you towards the second Saturday because I believe the first one sold out already. That's how excited people are about it. But it will be serving warm French toast stuffed with raspberry cream cheese, and then savory sausages and links and all different really tasty things, assorted muffins and scones. And so people are really excited about this. And we did it last year too, and they loved it.
Well, my mouth is watering already just thinking about it. So it sounds like something, just a whole nother aspect to be drawn to this event by.
It is, yes.
And I heard there's also educational programming going on. Can you tell us about that?
Both Fridays and Saturdays during the event, we're offering workshops, educational programming. It's inspired by floral installations. A lot of people that are participating florally in the Rooms of Blooms itself will be presenting, along with other area experts in garden design. We're kicking off the season with Chef Matt Winters from the Best Western Premier, and he'll be talking about, gardening and then using that food to create your dinners and different things like that, which people really enjoy. All that programming is listed on our website.
Excellent. And speaking of website, if you want to go ahead and give us the dates and times and where people can find more information.
Sure. Rooms of Blooms is the first 2 weekends in March. It actually opens Thursday, February 27th. And so it's the Thursday through the Sunday, and the hours change each day. So I would recommend going to our website to check that out. And it's $11 for adults, $7 for youth. And like I said, it's just going to be a phenomenal show.
Excellent. And I mean, we've got a few seconds left. What's your favorite part that you're looking forward to so far?
Well, I'm really looking forward to the table settings and seeing what they come up with again, because again, it's a blank slate. You just never know, and each year there's something different.
Right. You can even get ideas for at your own home. Maybe not quite as extravagant, but
that's right. This event just really inspires so much, weddings or just dinner parties, a lot of things.
Great. Well, I know we're all looking forward to this event. Thank you so much for coming in and telling us all about it, Kelly.
Thank you.
Coming up next, Les Miserables is going to be a huge production here in Oshkosh. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll talk to two of the actors from the production coming up next.
What's your passion? The arts, education, environment? Is it youth issues, women's issues, economic development, or scholarships? For 75 years, the Oshkosh Area Community Foundation has been helping people like you make a lasting difference in the community. For ideas that can help you, your heirs, and your community, visit our website or call 426-3993.
Thanks again for joining us on Oshkosh Today. And now I'm joined by Angela Furlow O'Donnell and Brady Lee from the latest big production here in Oshkosh, Les Miserables. Thanks for coming in today, guys.
Hey, thanks very much for having us.
So first of all, do you want to just tell us a little bit about the production, about Les Miserables?
Sure. I'm actually the artistic director of Hysterical Productions and the production director for Les Miserables. And we struggle to find any other word other than epic because it is the most accurate to describe the production. But we as a company really strive to bring you a story that really touches the audience, to bring the audience on a journey in a way that creates a bond between the actors and the audience, creates a bond between the audience member and really brings the community together overall. And so we like to stress the history of Les Miserables, not only of the epic Broadway production and London versions that it stems from, but then the cult following that has gathered it, and if you go even further back, that had gathered around the novel itself and Victor Hugo and the history, the actual history that he wrote about. So we're kind of jam-packing that all together.
So that really, I mean, makes it a huge difference between your average theater show from in the community. I mean, like you said, linking the audience to the actors and getting that whole experience out of it. The historical part, it just sounds amazing.
Yes, we try to separate ourselves just a little bit from other community theaters in the area by saying that we take not only citizen artists, which the area is rich with, but those who are more trained, who have just chosen to stay in the area, you know, people who are trained in voice, who are trained in acting, who are trained in stage combat, people who went to train, who could have gone to Chicago or Broadway, gone to LA or Minnesota, you know, but chose to stay here for whatever reason, like have a family, which is, you know, why I did. And we try and gather those people so that there's a very, very, very high level of talent in this production as well.
And so just talking about Hysterical Productions, I mean, beyond the fact that you're grabbing people from the local area, why else did you decide to form that?
The company itself?
Yes.
Well, it's me and my husband and a third graduate of the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point who happened to find ourselves all in this area and having the same training and the same goals. And my husband and I, just having come from working at the Bristol Renaissance Fair, we thought, there are a lot of different ways to connect with audience members. I mean, in the Renaissance Fair way, it's very one-on-one, even though it's in a big group. And we really wanted to incorporate that sense of interactive theater into things. And so we do murder mysteries and other tiny interactive theater things for people, tours. We do the Spirits of the Grand tours in October. And we wanted to keep that sense of that very interactive bond, but blow it into giant onstage, main stage production.
Yes, and that's an awesome answer. I mean, just to have something so big right here in Oshkosh that, like you said, Broadway quality, New York quality, LA, all of that, it's just so cool. And I know you've already brushed upon the history aspect of the play. In what ways did you guys prepare for such a historical show like this?
We put them through a history lesson.
Yes, they did.
Yes, we did. We had the privilege of having Franca Baricelli, who professes over at the University of Oshkosh, come to us, and she sat them down for an hour or so and had a slideshow and brought them all through the revolution, because actually Les Mis isn't about the revolution. It's post the large 1789 revolution that you think of, and it's after that. It's an 1832 June rebellion, and they know that now.
Yes, I know.
And you guys are both in the production itself. How long did it take for you, I mean, to do all this preparation, not only the historical part?
Not it. I'm only backstage.
Oh, okay.
Only backstage. I'm the director. So for me, I've been prepping for over a year, but my over a year is still pretty close to Brady's over a year.
Well, yeah. I mean, the production is in March, and they cast me in March about time, and they gave me a script, and I had to come in December, the second week of December, off book, so I had to study up until then, off book, and now we've been in rehearsals for 2-3 months now. It's been an endeavor.
A little bit of a whirlwind.
a lot of a whirlwind, yes.
So how has this production been different than other things you've worked on, Brady?
I'm mostly a singer. I study at UW Oshkosh as a singer. I lead worship up at a church as a singer. Acting in musicals has really only been something that I've done in my high school career. But now that I've had the opportunity to do it here, it's been a different experience, an unreal experience to say the least. It's been different in a professional, just having to have a more professional attitude toward things, having to come in off book, kind of having that expectation, a different expectation of what I had being in high school, and adding in a acting and more of a just raw attitude towards performing, as I usually don't have in a singing. That's how I would answer that.
And hopefully it won't be your last acting endeavor.
I hope not.
And we have about a minute left, so I want to make sure that we get the times and dates and all of that out there. So if you want to go ahead and give us that for the show.
Well, I mean, first off, if you go to www.grandoperahouse.org, that's where you can go to get your information. You can also find us, Hysterical Productions, or The Grand on Facebook, which is another great way for like direct links to tickets. We're running March 7th through 15th. The first weekend is Friday, Saturday with a Sunday matinee, 7, 8, 9. The second weekend is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, 13, 14, 15. And we have a couple special events too. If you come that first Thursday, you may be wooed by Brady, who's playing Marius, or wooed by our entourage. Les Amis de l'Amour is our post event. Or the second weekend, you may get to see Joe Furlow get caked in the face, or Ryan Odertzi get caked in the face, as our Javert and our Jean Valjean go cake to cake.
Or head to head. So all extra reasons to come and enjoy the whole experience itself. And I have to say that you've got to visit the Facebook page and see these awesome photos that you guys have taken.
Thompson Studios has been doing an amazing job with our photos, and really capturing that grittiness, that rawness, the truth in the relationships. It's beautiful.
Excellent. Well, I know we're all looking forward to it, and I can't wait to see. I'm going to go buy some tickets soon, too. So thanks again for coming in and visiting us and telling us all about this awesome show, Angela and Brady.
Great. Thank you.
Coming up next, I got a chance to take a little field trip to the EAA Museum to see about the Hops and Props event. So if you're a fan of beers or planes, you won't want to miss out on this.
Wisconsin is losing our World War II veterans. If you were a World War II veteran, or you know one who hasn't gone on an honor flight to D.C., please help us. The Wisconsin Broadcasters Association is partnering with all Wisconsin Honor Flight hubs to make sure every eligible vet remaining who served their country so selflessly gets the chance to go. It's time for them to see their memorial. It's time for their flight. To learn more or to make a donation, go to wisconsinhonorflight.org.
Thanks again for joining us on Oshkosh Today, and now we are at the EAA AirVenture Museum here in Oshkosh. I'm joined by Kelly Zanders from EAA, and you're here to tell us about the Hops and Props event.
Yes, this year it's our 11th year. It's scheduled for Saturday, March 8th, and it's going to be taking place here at our AirVenture Museum, starting at 5:30 with the VIP dinner, followed by general admission at 7 to 10. So.
Excellent. And why hold an event like this? I mean, airplanes and hops. What can you tell us about that?
Well, it's a good combo, actually. It's a great way to get the community involved. Not only get the Oshkosh area residents kind of coming back to our museum and that sort of thing, but also having people from outside the state and surrounding areas kind of come and check out our museum and what we have to offer.
Great. And what's the history of this event? When did it get started and how did it get started?
Well, like I mentioned, it started 11 years ago, and we thought of the idea because hops and props, great combo.
Yes.
And actually, our facility is just phenomenal for an event like this. We have a lot of space to utilize to have a number of different beer vendors here promote their product. But not only that, it's a great space for bands to perform as well. So this year we're going to be having 4 different acts perform, over 85 different brewers. We're going to have a lot of cool things going on. So.
That sounds so cool. And can you maybe just elaborate a little bit more on what the event itself is? I mean, people show up and they can just go around and taste different beers?
Sure. Actually, like I said, it starts off with the VIP dinner at 5:30. And this year we have Beckett's, our local restaurant that's going to be our caterer. And then we also have Surly Brewing Company out of Minnesota that will be coming and doing our VIP beer tasting during that event as well. So followed by the VIP dinner, we do have the general event from 7 to 10. So this allows brewers and distributors from all over the area to come and promote their product and any new beer flavors they have and want people to try out. But then on top of it, we do have the 4 different bands performing. We also have general admission food as well for the attendees to try. So a lot of different things going on.
Yeah, definitely not a shortage of activities, that's for sure.
Not at all.
So this is a huge event. How does an event like this come about and how is it supported?
Actually, it's supported because with the funds that we raise for this event, it actually does allow us to put on other larger events throughout the year for education groups and other really neat creative ideas that we can do at little or no charge. So it's really great for the community to come back and check out our museum, and also the rest of our EAA grounds as well, and see what else we have to offer.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people, when they think EAA, they automatically think the big event you guys have in the summer. And so it's interesting to see that there are other cool things going on around here throughout the rest of the year.
Yes, definitely. And Hops and Props is becoming a staple for EAA, and so it's been great.
Yes, and you know, besides beer, is that going to be the only thing that people can get at the event, or there'll be other kind of beverages?
Not
and
only
things
beer,
like that?
we're also going to have some wine available. Festival Foods is our presenting sponsor, so this year they're going to have a booth with some wine. Actually, I believe it's going to be Fancy Pants wine that's going to be here, so
Very cool.
It's going to be very, very nice. There's also going to be some ciders, and then for those who just want to come and check out the bands and have some food and have a good time, there'll also be some soda for them as well. So
Very cool. And this is open to the public. Is there any kind of age limit? Obviously, you need to be 21 to
obviously
drink the beer.
21, yeah, 21 and older. That's all that matters to us. So.
Okay. Great. If you want to maybe just tell us a little bit more about where the funds go and exactly what you're going to be putting on the rest of the year.
Sure. Some other events that we put on, actually one that just happened last weekend was Ski Plane Fly-In. And so that is free to the public, and it's where actually these planes can come in the snow, and it's really cool for attendees to actually meet the pilots, see the planes, kind of check out, you know, what they fly during the winter months and that sort of thing. So that is another bigger event here at EAA as well that is free to the public. Plus we offer free food and activities as well.
Okay.
So that's a lot of fun. And also Christmas in the Air is another free event that we do over the holidays right before Christmas time. And so this is actually becoming a very large event with a number of performers, with local high school bands and choirs and things like that. And then we also have Santa coming in on a helicopter as well, so that's pretty cool.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And I've seen footage from that. It's always, it looks like it's always a great time.
Yes, yes.
Back to the Hops and Props event, is there any more contact information or even transportation kind of stuff that people should know about?
Sure. Actually, this year what we do recommend is booking a hotel through one of our 4 hotel partners that we are working with this year. So we're working with Cobblestone, Holiday Inn, Hilton, and Best Western Premier Waterfront. And all 4 of those are offering some great rates. So if people want to stay the night and get some free shuttle transportation as well, we highly recommend that. And then in addition, you know, if you want to check out more information, we do have our website, eaa.org/hopsandprops. So
Perfect.
Yeah.
And the entertainment, you said there's going to be a few different bands. I'm not sure if you actually mentioned their names or not yet.
Actually, yep, 4 bands, and there's going to be Frogwater, which is a Celtic Irish duo.
Frogwater.
Yep, and they're going to be performing. And then we also have Unity, which is a reggae band, so they'll be here as well. Sly Joe and the Smooth Operators, they've actually been here in the past, and they are returning. They'll be performing in the Founders Wing after the VIP dinner. And then we also have Shelly Bree, a new band that kind of covers country and rock, and they'll be in the Eagle Hangar.
There is something for every musical
Something
taste.
for everybody.
That's
Yep.
perfect.
Yep. So
Now, we have about a minute left. It's my first time here at the EAA Museum. If you want to just kind of tell us a little bit about the museum itself.
sure, the museum has so much history and some great aircraft that people can check out while they're here. So the nice thing about our museum is we do have docents that do offer tours to people who want to come and take a look around. So if they want somebody who really knows the history and knows a little bit more about, you know, everything we have here to offer, it's such a great, it's such a great, you know, it's such a great thing that we do offer for our attendees. So
great. So one last time, if you want to just recap the Hops and Props event for us, date, time, price.
Sure. Hops and Props is taking place on Saturday, March 8th. The VIP dinner at 5:30, followed by the general admission at 7 o'clock. Prices are $75 for general admission tickets, and for VIP it is $125.
And where can people go to buy tickets?
They can buy their tickets at eaa.org/hopsandprops. So
great. Well, thank you so much for having us here today at this awesome museum here.
Thank you.
Perfect backdrop for the interview. So
yeah, thanks. We appreciate it.
We're looking forward to the event.
Great.
We'll be right back with more Oshkosh Today right after this.
The Oshkosh Public Museum will host In Company with Angels. Experience the beauty of these magnificent works of art by the American master Louis Comfort Tiffany at the Oshkosh Public Museum, February 8th to May 11th.
It's not just what you say, it's how you say it. It's said that a narrow vision is divisive, a broad vision expansive, but a divine vision is all-inclusive. Welcome all groups of citizens working for the greater good of the community. Speak your piece and be inclusive. The Oshkosh Civility Project is a community-based effort. More information at oshkoshcivilityproject.org.
Welcome back to Oshkosh Today, and now we have some royalty in the studio. We have Miss Oshkosh. Chelsea Vasilevsky is here to tell us about the Miss Oshkosh pageant.
Yes.
Thanks for coming in today, Chelsea.
Thank you for having me.
So, how was your year as Miss Oshkosh? I can't believe how fast it's gone. It feels like I was just talking to you in the middle of it all. So
I
how
know.
was it? How did it go?
My year has been absolutely incredible. I've had so many beautiful memories and great experiences. I feel so fortunate that I've had this opportunity. Like you said, it's crazy to think that it's winding down very quickly.
Mm-hmm. And your responsibility as Miss Oshkosh, it's a lot of appearances and a lot of, you know, going to different events. And, you know, I know you were just at the the iPads for Autism event. Just, I mean, a huge range of events. What was your favorite appearance this year?
The one you just mentioned.
Really?
Yes. So I partnered with Kiwanis Club for their iPads for Autism project. As soon as I heard about it, I wanted to know exactly how I could get involved as quickly as I could. I just thought it was amazing. Many of you know that my platform is Take Action Autism Therapy. So in my own therapy sessions, I've actually used iPads before. So when I heard about this, I thought it was fantastic. And yes, like you said, we were at the Oshkosh West and Oshkosh North basketball game, and we had a raffle there, and we raised enough money to have 10 more iPads donated to children in the community.
Wow,
Yes.
10. And I know, even speaking from personal experience too, the iPads are a huge tool for autistic children, especially for communication and anything like that, learning and all those things. And so that's so cool that you were able to support your platform that way.
Yeah, wonderful experience.
Yeah, and I mean, what other kinds of appearances did you do throughout the year besides that one very big special one?
So many events and appearances. I did over 60. So I kept very busy, and I loved every second of it. Too many to mention, but each one holds a very special place in my heart.
Excellent. And the Miss Oshkosh pageant is coming up. The next Miss Oshkosh will be crowned pretty soon here, and you'll be giving her the crown. And when can we, or first of all, if you just want to let us know, when is the pageant itself?
Yes, the pageant is Saturday, March 1st. It'll be at 7:30 in Alberta Kimball Hall. That's in Oshkosh West High School.
Okay, and what can we expect at the pageant this year?
It is the 50th anniversary of the Miss Oshkosh Scholarship Pageant this year, so that's very exciting. That's 50 years of the women's division supporting the pageant, and we're really thankful for their support and all they've done for us. And so it's going to be a really big show, great production numbers. We have 12 contestants again this year. And yeah, just going to be a really great show, and I'm really looking forward to crowning a new Miss Oshkosh and welcoming her into the sisterhood.
Excellent. And I mean, for those of us who aren't familiar with pageants like me, what is all included in the pageant?
Well, the Miss America organization has different phases of competition. So you have a 10-minute private interview with the judges, on-stage question, swimsuit, evening wear, and then talent.
Great. And this is all going towards scholarships. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the Miss America organization is a scholarship pageant. So the Miss Oshkosh pageant has a very large amount of scholarship dollars. We have $12,800 that we are, again, going to be giving out to the contestants. Miss Oshkosh in particular gets $3,500 in scholarship that she can use towards her education.
Amazing.
Yes.
And can you tell us even a little bit more too about the Miss America organization itself? I know that you were just telling me before we started taping, it's all volunteers.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most wonderful things about the Miss America organization is that it is made up of volunteers and people who really dedicate their time to this organization to make it run smoothly, whether that's at the local level, the state level, or at the national level. It all starts on a small stage, and there's so many people that go into it that make it all work, and so it's really awesome. And then it's the largest scholarship provider for women, and it's just a really great vehicle for women to be involved in, to be able to pursue their dreams, continue their educations, and just share their talents and their platforms and their passions.
And it's amazing how big the Miss Oshkosh pageant has become here in Oshkosh, and it's just so cool to see how far you've come too. I mean, even from the beginning and going to all these appearances and supporting your platform, it's really amazing. And
thank you.
If you want to tell us, we've got a little bit of time left here, how we can get tickets and where we can go for more information.
Yes, tickets are on sale now. I don't know if you're going to post the poster or not, but all the contact information of how to get a ticket ahead of time is listed on there. And then otherwise you can get them at the door, but I would recommend getting them ahead of time.
Definitely.
It's going to be a big show.
You don't want it to sell out.
Yes, you don't want to walk in and it be sold out. Yep.
Great. And then one last question. What are you looking forward to most in this pageant, besides not being under the pressure and being on stage?
Yeah, I am looking forward to that. I'm really looking forward to just being there for all the contestants. We've had rehearsals already going on for quite some time, and it's just been really fun for me to be there and be a support and offer advice. And like I said, just crowning a new Miss Oshkosh is really exciting.
Yes. Well, thanks again for coming in today, Chelsea, and congratulations on a successful year as Miss Oshkosh.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we're going to take a short break, and then when we come back, we're going to see a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity exhibit at the Oshkosh Public Museum. We'll be right back.
Take it slow, take it slow, take it slow. When we see a roundabout, take it slow. Then we pick the correct lane and take it slow. When we see a car approach, we yield to the left. When we're in that roundabout, we don't pass anybody yet. Take it slow, take it slow, take it slow.
Visit WisconsinRoundabouts.com for more info from the Wisconsin Department of Transportation.
Do you know or have a family member with a disability? Cerebral Palsy of Mideast, Wisconsin is here to help. We offer programs and services that make a positive difference for individuals that are affected by a variety of disabilities. Volunteers are always welcome, and your financial gifts are truly appreciated and tax deductible. For more details, log on to www.cpmideastwis.com or call 1-800-261-1895. Thanks for supporting Cerebral Palsy of Mideast, Wisconsin.
We are back on Oshkosh Today, and now I am joined by Carla Sakaris and Deb Daubert from the Oshkosh Public Museum here to tell us about the In Company with Angels exhibit going on right now. So thank you, ladies, for coming in today.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah. And this is such a cool exhibit, and I had no idea about it until I started reading about it. It's 6, is it, stained glass windows?
7.
7. Can you tell us a little bit about the In Company with Angels?
Yeah, first the windows were created by Tiffany Studios in 1902. They were installed in a church in Ohio. but the church was sadly razed in 1964, but the parishioners saved the windows from destruction. And they traveled from garage to shed in crates, and eventually were stored in a barn in Pennsylvania when they were found in this leaky barn. And luckily they realized what they had and had them restored and made into this traveling exhibit.
That's just amazing
Yeah.
what these windows have gone through and how beautiful they are. I mean, just looking at pictures that I've seen so
Yes.
far, how well they have held up over the years.
It is amazing.
And what is the exact significance of the angels? There's 7 of them.
There's 7. They depict, each angel depicts an angel from the book of Revelation. Each angel is holding a symbol, a gift that symbolizes what the city will be, or the residents of the city that they visited will get for reforming their ways, basically.
And
yeah.
I know, I mean, like we said, those windows held up pretty darn good over the
Yes.
conditions, but I doubt they looked the way they look now when they found them in that leaky barn. So there was a little bit of a restoration process that happened. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, it took about 1.5 years for them to be all totally dismantled. And for the Tiffany glass, what is so unique about it is as many layers that create the effect. So all those layers had to come apart and be cleaned and then reassembled. So it was quite a delicate and yet very rewarding process, I would imagine, as things started coming back to life.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it just blows my mind that they even made it this far after all of that.
Exactly.
So I mean, this is a really cool exhibit. How is the museum able to secure such a thing?
Well, we look for traveling exhibits for at least once or twice a year to help us, because we're a small staff. And we saw these and that they had these that we could borrow, and we're very intrigued by them because the interior rooms of the original Sawyer mansion were planned by the Tiffany Studio interior decorators. So we thought, what a perfect marriage to have there, the windows, because we also have our own Tiffany windows, and this exhibit.
It's like it was meant to be.
Oh yes, it certainly did.
And I mean, a lot of people think of jewelry, of the little blue box, when they think of Tiffany. So can you tell us a little bit about, I mean, where that comes from?
Certainly. Well, the jewelry part of it, which is Tiffany and Company, comes from the father, started that part of the company. And Louis Comfort Tiffany, his son, is who started, well, he did his world tour in the 1860s, 70s, and started falling in love with the European look, and thought he wanted to be a painter. And so he kind of went around to different painting studios like George Inness and liked what he saw there, and then decided that wasn't quite what he wanted to do and got into interior decorating. And that's where the magic started happening, because he could see what could be done with the stained glass windows and with other accessories that would go along with that.
And it was a beautiful outcome, definitely.
Oh, yes.
So how long will the windows be on display at the museum?
The windows will be here until May 11th, and accompanying the angel windows we have Living with Tiffany, which is a variety of lamps and desk accessories, different decorative objects that Tiffany Studios created.
It's a perfect...
the perfect marriage, yes.
Definitely.
Those were borrowed from the Richard Driehaus collection, so they aren't things the museum has, but are, again, beautiful examples of what Tiffany was producing.
Yes, and so this is really something you do not want to miss. It's, like I said, it's really once in a lifetime that you're going to be able to see something like this.
It is.
So,
yeah, these windows soon will be, they're going to eventually stop traveling, and we'll have a permanent home somewhere on the East Coast.
If you want to give us the museum times and cost of admission so people can know when to come.
Yeah, the museum is open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. till 4:30, and Sundays from 1 until 4:30.
Excellent. And members do get free admission.
Members get free admission, so a wonderful value for getting a membership at the Oshkosh Public Museum.
And for more information, it's at your website as well as your Facebook page.
Correct. Our website is oshkoshmuseum.org, and then we do have a link there to our Facebook page.
Great. And the windows are on display through May 11th, I think you said?
May 11th, yes.
Yes, and I know you were saying too, do not wait until the last minute to go and see these because you will miss it and you'll regret it.
You will, you will.
We also have some events tied into that, such as our second Saturdays where kids can do crafts, and from 1 to 3 on the second Saturday, and they tie into the Tiffany, so you can do some little Tiffany, your own Tiffany masterpieces with that.
So March 8th, we'll be making mosaic boxes, and then April 12th, we'll be dabbling with stained glass painting.
Oh wow, very fun. So all these cool little aspects of the stained glass idea.
Exactly.
So cool going on at the museum. And I know that I'm looking forward to going and seeing these windows as well. So thank you both so much for coming in and telling us all about this awesome exhibit.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Up next is our final guest of Oshkosh today, the Guns and Hoses hockey tournament. It's something you are definitely not going to want to miss. Coming up right after this.
Is losing our World War II veterans. If you were a World War II veteran, or you know one who hasn't gone on an honor flight to D.C., please help us. The Wisconsin Broadcasters Association is partnering with all Wisconsin honor flight hubs to make sure every eligible vet remaining who served their country so selflessly gets the chance to go. It's time for them to see their memorial. It's time for their flight. To learn more or to make a donation, go to wisconsinhonorflight.org.
Hops and Props, Saturday, March 8th at EAA in Oshkosh. Sample the world's finest brews, hors d'oeuvres from the Machine Shed, and music by Unity, Broadwater, Jelly Bree, and Sly Joe and the Smooth Operators. VIP dinner and beer pairing features Beckett's and Surly Brewing Company. Tickets at 920-426-6281 or EAA.org/Hops and Props. Hops and Props is brought to you by EAA and Festival Foods, supported by Sunset Hill Stoneware, Arena Americas, OCMS, and these sponsors.
Thanks again for joining us on Oshkosh today. And now I'm joined by our final guest of the afternoon, Brett Hamer from the Oshkosh Fire Department. Thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
And you're here to tell us about the Guns and Hoses hockey tournament, something I've never heard of before. I'm new to Oshkosh. So do you want to just tell us a little bit about the event?
Sure. This is the 7th annual Guns and Hoses charity hockey game, and it's police officers versus firefighters. And what we're doing is trying to raise money for charity. So each year we pick a different charity, and we raise money through this game, and then we donate it to the charity that we chose for the year.
Great. What charity was chosen for this year?
This year the police chose the charity, and it's a charity called Free Spirit Riders. They're a nonprofit organization, and they help to enrich the lives of adults and children with disabilities through therapeutic horse interaction, horse riding, that sort of thing.
I've heard of that, and that's just a really cool charity to choose for this year. So who exactly is playing in this hockey game?
Well, pretty much firefighters from Oshkosh and Fond du Lac, Appleton, Sheboygan, and then the police officers have a lot of officers from Oshkosh, Fond du Lac, the surrounding area. They have some other players too. So.
Do you find a big sense of rivalry between everybody leading up to the games?
There's a little bit of rivalry for sure, but you know the end result is always the same. We're trying to raise the money for charity, and we have fun. You know, it gets a little rough out there sometimes, but you know that's just the nature of the firemen and the police officers. So.
Right, and you know in the end it is for a good cause too.
Exactly.
So. What's the cost to attend the game or to get in?
The cost is $5 a person. Kids 5 and under are free, and you can just show up at the door. We can hold about 600 people, and we've been getting close to that. Between 400 and 600 typically show up.
Wow.
So there's also T-shirts, Guns N' Roses T-shirts for sale. We do a 50-50 raffle. We have a ton of great raffle prizes that we'll be raffling off. A year worth of Happy Meals. Everyone likes that one.
Oh my gosh.
There's a Dublin's party. We have a ton of great raffle prizes this year. So.
Great. Do you need to be present if you do win a raffle prize?
You do not need to be present to win a raffle prize. In fact, you can, if you can't make the game and you want to show up and purchase some tickets, we'll call you if you win the prize.
Excellent. And I know you mentioned some Guns N' Hoses T-shirts. How can people purchase those?
You have to show up at the game to purchase those, or you have to track me down to get a T-shirt. But the T-shirts, typically we charge $6 to $7. I can't remember exactly for the T-shirt. So
definitely doable for a T-shirt.
Exactly, yes. And then all the money from all of that, the raffles, the T-shirts, it all goes to the charity.
Yes. And from my own experience working with the Green Bay Gamblers, I know a huge part of the game is the Zamboni and just watching the Zamboni go around, and some people get to ride the Zamboni, and I know that opportunity will also be there for this game.
It will be. There'll be 2 chances to win a ride in between the 2 periods for, well, basically anyone, probably a kid, but
Most likely
to win a ride on the Zamboni, yes.
Okay, so how do they enter in to win the Zamboni?
That'll be another raffle. It's $1 a ticket. Just put your name in, buy a few tickets, and hopefully you win.
Yes, and I know you said that there's going to be a ton of people there. Do I need to show up a little early if I want to get a good seat for the game?
Yeah, I would say if you showed up by 4 o'clock is a pretty good time. We'll hopefully take the ice about 4:30. It starts getting pretty packed around 4:30.
All right. And I know you did mention the raffle prizes. We've got a few minutes left, so do you want to maybe tell us a little bit more about what we can expect at the raffles?
Absolutely. We have a year worth of Happy Meals from McDonald's. We have a $250 party at Dublin's Irish Pub. We have another prize from Sawyer Creek Pub. We have some German beer steins that you can win. We have a nice gift basket from the Bottle Room in Green Bay. There might be a couple of little prizes floating in before the game.
All right. Lots to look forward to, that's
Yes.
for sure. And you are playing in the game yourself, yes?
I am, yes.
Have you started training yet?
Well, I wouldn't call it training, but yeah, I play in a league year-round, so.
Okay, excellent. Like you said, the police are a team and the firefighters are a team. Do you guys hold any kind of practices or anything like that, or is it show up and play?
Most of the guys that skate in the game play on a regular basis, so no, we don't really have a practice. I'm not sure if the police officers do or not. They might try to sneak one in, but
right. Try and get a little bit of preparation in there before the game.
Yeah. To even things up this year, I should add this. We're going to bring in the Oshkosh Ice Hawks. That's the high school team. We're going to bring in their goalies. They're going to play goalie for both teams.
Oh, very cool.
That should make things interesting.
Yes, definitely. And I know we've got about a minute left here, so if you want to maybe recap the dates and times and prices and all that fun stuff.
Sure. March 1st, Saturday, March 1st, 4:30 p.m. $5 to get in. Kids 5 and under are free. Raffle prizes, 50-50 raffle, T-shirts, a lot of fun, good fast-paced hockey.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming in today, Brett, and telling us about this really cool event that brings Oshkosh together with a fun hockey game, and it's all for a good cause. So thanks again for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
Coming up next, we're going to take a quick break, and then we'll take a few minutes to focus on health with Aurora Healthcare. We'll be right back.
Hops and Props, Saturday, March 8th at EAA in Oshkosh. Sample the world's finest brews, hors d'oeuvres from the Machine Shed, and music by Unity, Broadwater, Jelly Bree, and Sly Joe and the Smooth Operators. VIP dinner and beer pairing features Beckett's and Surly Brewing Company. Tickets at 920-426-6281 or EAA.org/Hops and Props. Hops and Props is brought to you by EAA and Festival Foods, supported by Sunset Hill Stoneware, Arena Americas, OCMS, and these sponsors.
Take it slow, take it slow, take it slow. When we see a roundabout, take it slow. Let me pick the correct lane and take it slow. When we see a car approach, we yield to the left. When we're in that roundabout, we don't pass anybody yet. Take it slow, take it slow, take it slow.
Visit WisconsinRoundabouts.com for more info from the Wisconsin Department of Transportation.
Welcome back to Oshkosh Today, and now it's time to focus on health with our friends at Aurora and Ted Stefaniak. This year's segment is radiation treatment. Take a look.
This Focus on Health segment is brought to you by Aurora Healthcare.
Patients dealing with cancer these days have many different treatment options. Hello everyone and welcome to Focus on Health. I'm Ted Stefaniak. Today we're at the Aurora Medical Center in Oshkosh. We're going to be visiting the Radiation Oncology Department. We're going to sit down and talk to Dr. Michael Shih about radiation as a treatment option. Well, thank you for joining us today. Today we're talking a little bit about cancer, and we're in one of your treatment rooms. But let's start off by talking a little bit about what cancer is. I think a lot of people hear cancer, but how would you describe cancer?
Yeah. So Ted, cancer is really, it starts when some of your own cells start growing uncontrollably. Your cells normally multiply and die off as the course of your life, as a function of their normal function. For example, breast duct cells, they grow and shrink with a menstrual cycle, with pregnancy, and that's normal, okay? But if something happens, like a genetic mutation happens within those ducts, that cycle is disrupted. Either they start growing uncontrollably, or they grow and they're supposed to shrink and die away, but they don't do that as programmed. And that's when you start to have uncontrollable growth. And when those cells start acquiring more genetic mutations, to start invading deeper into tissues and into blood vessels, which then gives them the potential to spread throughout your body. That's what we call cancer.
Yeah. Are we starting to get a better idea of what's causing cancer?
Cancer, there's a couple ways to really say what causes cancer, right? How do we know what causes anything? One way you can do that is by looking at the patients who get cancer, looking at the patients who don't get cancer, and see what is in common with those two groups. And there are that way you can get a bunch of risk factors. Some people say that risk factors and causes are the same thing. That's not exactly true, in my opinion. There's some risk factors that are so strong, statistically so correlated with cancer, that you can pretty much say that they cause that cancer. For example, smoking and small cell lung cancer. If you don't smoke, you pretty much aren't going to get small cell lung cancer. Really, what I tell patients is life causes cancer.
And when cancer does happen, here at Aurora, you have many different options for treatment. Can you tell us about some of the treatment options you have here?
In general, we break down the classifications of treatment into surgery, radiation, and chemotherapy, okay? From a radiation standpoint, where Aurora is an amazing organization, we have a great staff, we have lots of resources, both with kind of more standard community available forms of radiation, like our linear accelerator here, high energy X-ray treatments that can be shaped in lots of different ways to target the radiation where we need it, where we suspect cancer cells might be. But certainly, all of us play a role, and for each specific cancer in each stage, there's different ways to treat, different doses of, and the surgery is different.
Right, and today we're talking about radiation.
Yeah.
How does the radiation actually kill the cancer cells?
We talked about cancer cells being unique from normal cells in the sense that their genome is unstable. They can't really repair their DNA as well. That's why they became cancer in the first place. Well, we can leverage that because since their DNA doesn't repair well, the radiation damages their DNA and also the DNA of normal cells, but the normal cells already have that ability to repair themselves, but the cancer cells don't. So that's selective. Also, it's where we put it. Radiation is X-rays are great in the sense they go where you put it. So you suspect that cancer might be a place, you point the radiation there and not to the critical organs next to it. Those are two ways in which we get some selectivity about it.
Are there other ways that radiation is used here at the clinic?
Well, there's a couple ways that we use radiation. I would say 3 general classifications how we apply radiation in medicine. One is X-rays. Now, people are pretty familiar with your typical chest X-ray, stuff like that. that machine is a lot smaller than this machine because we have to use a much higher energy of an X-ray. But in general, it's the same classification of energy. It's an X-ray. So X-ray coming from a point external to yourself going through you, that's probably the most common way in which we treat breast cancer, for example, and many other cancers. And there's different ways we can shape it using our software to get a really tight plan. Another way that we use radiation in the clinic is radiation from inside of you. That is, we have a radioisotope. It's basically a radioactive device that goes inside of you in a precise manner. For example, prostate brachytherapy. We treat the prostate by going to the operating room and placing radioactive seeds, filling the prostate up, and that in itself radiates the prostate from the inside. Okay, no X-rays or anything. We can do both for prostate cancer, X-rays or brachytherapy. There's various different ways. You know, in Green Bay we have, I refer patients for internal radiation. It's called a high-dose rate machine. It's a robot that has a source at the end of it, and we put an implant in a patient and that source goes inside that patient in a very precise and programmed set of steps to shape the radiation that way. That's also internal radiation, where the patient is not radioactive when they go home.
Yeah, we're running a little short on time, but I wanted to ask you how the patients react. Is there a recovery time to radiation?
There is. You know, it depends mostly on where you're radiating, what part of your body is being radiated, and what essential organs are nearby. And that varies a lot from patient to patient. For example, prostate cancer, you can have more bladder problems and rectal problems, that's because where the prostate is. You know.
Sure. Okay, well, we appreciate you taking some time and sharing the information on radiation today.
Okay, thanks a lot, Ted.
If you have any questions regarding the treatment options Dr. Shih talked about, including radiation, you can get a hold of your primary care provider or give us a call here at Aurora Medical Center at 303-8700. I'm Ted Stefaniak, and we'll see you next time on Focus on Health.
This Focus on Health segment has been brought to you by Aurora Healthcare.
Looks like that's going to do it for this episode of Oshkosh Today. Make sure you tune in to CATV2 for all of your community programming. Check us out at oshkoshcommunitymedia.org for replays of your favorite shows. You can also go to our YouTube channel and share them with your friends. Of course, you can hear Oshkosh Today and other programs right here on the radio at 101.9 WOCT. Don't forget to like our Facebook page or follow us on Twitter for both city and programming updates. And finally, if you're a Pinterest fan, check out our board for the latest snapshots of the city. Don't forget about the big changes that happened recently here at 101.9 FM. We are now streaming online at oshkoshcommunitymedia.org, and we're also available on the free TuneIn Radio app for your computer or mobile device. So you can now listen to the new music mix from anywhere, your computer, your cell phone, or your iPod Touch even. If you'd like to be a guest on the show, you can email me at emakowski@ci.oshkosh.wi.us. Thanks again for joining us on Oshkosh Today, and we'll see you next time.